Imagine a world where the very essence of your consciousness can be influenced by nothing more than sound waves, where the barrier between your mind's reality and another's can blur with the right frequency. Tonight we delve into the shadows of innovation, where a patent exists not just as a legal document, but as a gateway to the unexplored corners of the human psyche. What if I told you that there's a method, a technique so bizarre yet so scientifically grounded, that it could change how you think, feel, and even dream? This is not just another story. It's an adventure into the mind's own labyrinth, guided by the unforgettable symphony of binaural beats. Stay with me as we unlock the secrets of U.S. patent number 5213562. Right after this. Let's get into it. U.S. patent number 5213562 is titled Method of Inducing Mental, Emotional, and Physical States of Consciousness, including specific mental activity in human beings. Now, if you ask me, that title's a bit wordy. Let's condense it a bit, but I'm not part of the team, so I guess I have no say. Let's just call it that. This intriguing patent was granted on May 25, 1993 to Robert Monroe, a notable figure in the realm of consciousness exploration. The patent describes a method that has applicability in replication of desired consciousness states, training an individual to replicate such states without further audio stimulation, and transferring these states from one person to another through audio frequencies. The core of the method involves the use of audio signals to alter human consciousness. Specifically, it uses a binaural beat phenomenon where two slightly different frequencies are presented to each ear, which the brain then interprets as a single beat frequency, leading to entrainment of brain waves to this rhythm. This technique is proposed to induce various mental, emotional, and physical states, including specific levels of consciousness which might aid in learning, relaxation, or even sleep. The patent details how this can be achieved by superimposing an individual's electroencephalogram. Yeah, that's going to flow very well for me. Yes, Scott, tell us about the electroencephalograms. Hey, I nailed it. The patent details how this can be achieved by superimposing an individual's electroencephalogram, or EEG, patterns onto stereo signals. The EEG, which measures electrical activity of the brain, is used to generate audio signals that mimic these patterns. When these signals are listened to by another individual, the binaural beat created between the two signals can induce similar brainwave patterns in the listener, theoretically allowing one person to, quote, transfer their state of consciousness to another. Is this real? I don't want anything to do with that. That sounds terrifying. Here, take my consciousness, brother. Nobody needs that. Hey, don't ask for my consciousness, all right? It gets pretty wild. This method includes the use of phased pink sound, which is an adjustment of white noise to account for the human ear's perception across the frequency spectrum, making it more soothing and effective when combined with the binaural beats. Now, Monroe's method suggested that this sound, when properly phased between stereo channels, can enhance the effectiveness of the binaural beat signals by up to 30% in terms of frequency following response, or FFR, where the brain's waves synchronize with the external stimulus. Robert Monroe, the patent's inventor, was a pioneer in the study of human consciousness. Born in 1950, Monroe was not traditionally a scientist, but rather an executive in radio programming and later an author and researcher. His interest in consciousness stemmed from his own experiences with an out-of-body experience, or OBEs, which he began documenting in the late 1950s. These experiences led him to found the Monroe Institute in 1974, dedicated to exploring human consciousness through sound technology. Monroe's work was influenced by his earlier patents, number 3884218, on inducing sleep using audio signals, which laid the groundwork for the more sophisticated approach described in the patent we're covering today. His methods involved not just the creation of soundscapes, but also the study of how these sounds could interact with brain functions. His institute developed programs like the hemisync method, which uses binaural beats to synchronize the two hemispheres of the brain, promoting states like deep meditation or enhanced learning capabilities. While the patent itself proposes potential uses in education, therapy, and even personal development, the reception of such technologies has been mixed. In scientific communities, the effectiveness of binaural beats for inducing specific states is often debated due to a lack of conclusive research. However, there's an interest in the wellness and alternative therapy sectors where these methods are used for stress reduction, meditation, and as aids for sleep. And I can personally attest to that last one because I've used them from time to time myself when trying to get to sleep at night, and I gotta be honest, they're pretty relaxing. I mean, it's no Spotify playlist of baby jazz lullabies, but it does do the trick. And yes, I also have a playlist of baby jazz lullabies. They're relaxing, all right? It does something for me. I don't know. I know I'm a grown man. It's fine. Let's continue before we get into this. Nobody needs to hear that. Nobody needs to hear about Scott's baby jazz lullabies. This is a serious show. The patent's methodology has sparked both intrigue and skepticism. On one hand, it opens up discussions about non-pharmacological methods of altering mental states, and on the other, it treads into areas where scientific proof is hard to establish, leading to debates on its actual efficacy and ethical implications. Although not widely adopted in mainstream medical or psychological practices, Monroe's work has had a significant cultural impact, influencing the New Age movement and popularizing the concept of using sound for altering consciousness. His books, especially Journeys Out of the Body, have become classics in the genre of nonfiction exploring altered states of consciousness. The patent itself does not appear to have led to widely recognized commercial products or applications beyond the scope of the Monroe Institute's educational and therapeutic programs. However, its methodology has been foundational in developing further research and products in the realm of brainwave entrainment and sound therapy. So in closing, U.S. patent number 5213562 stands as a testament to Robert Monroe's pioneering work in using sound to influence human consciousness. While the scientific community remains divided on the efficacy of such methods, the patent reflects an innovative approach to understanding and manipulating human mental states through technology. This exploration into the intersection of sound and psyche not only highlights Monroe's unique contributions, but also invites ongoing discussion about the boundaries of science, psychology, and human experience. How far should science go in exploring and altering human consciousness? Is there a line we shouldn't cross? Imagine if this technology was widely adopted. Would it change how we view reality? Or would it blur the lines between what's real and what's induced? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, I'm Scott Walker, and this has been Perplexing Patents. Goodbye.